For joining me here this afternoon. The time is currently 2:01 p.m. Central, 3:01 p.m. Eastern, and you have a live look at an ongoing severe weather outbreak across the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, alright? This is one of the first times that on stream our main focus has been the UP of Michigan here, really Michigan in its entirety, but we do have several ongoing severe thunderstorms in the Upper Peninsula, and these have been going since like late hours this morning, alright? We've had numerous severe thunderstorm warnings issued. You can see we've had reports of some golf ball sized hail out of the UP. We've had reports of wind damage that was downing power lines in the UP. So these storms are actually pretty dangerous. They are starting to leave the Upper Peninsula. Right now, they're at the southern tip of it. Right now, we do have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings. All right, we got one for the Newberry area, one for Holbert, and then one out here for areas to the south of Highway 2, east of Port Inland. Okay, now, some of these storms are going to be capable of producing quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as they head southward here into the oven mitt of Michigan here, all right? We're going to see these storms roll through, and potentially their severe threat may even increase as they head that direction, and we already have some showers and thunderstorms starting to fire off here in the oven mitt of Michigan, right? So we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that's pretty new. It came out like 10 to 15 minutes ago. This is for portions of Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. This is a severe thunderstorm watch for areas like Chicago, Lansing, Kalamazoo, South Bend, Joliet, all right? A severe thunderstorm watch means conditions are favorable for the development of severe thunderstorms over a large area. Now, this severe thunderstorm watch in particular is actually a relatively concerning one here, alright? The primary threats include scattered large hail and isolated very large hail events to tennis ball size possible, scattered damaging wind gusts to 70 miles per hour possible, and a tornado or two possible. So we have an all hazards in play type situation here where we're going to be seeing damaging winds, we're going to be seeing large hail, we're going to be seeing tornadoes over a large area of the Midwest and the Ohio Valley today. Once again, this is a brand new severe thunderstorm watch if you're just now tuning in for parts of the Midwest. The tornado warning in Canada is the biggest polygon you've ever saw. I don't even have my Canada alerts on. Let me check it out. They have some weird alert boxes, though. Yeah, it's weird. But anyway, we are actually kind of seeing some severe storms, and again, tornado warning storms pop off in Canada. Now, we don't really cover Canada here on this channel, but, you know, it's right next to the UP of Michigan. The likelihood that we have viewers from the UP of Michigan is about the same as it would be a little further to the east in Canada there, okay? So we do have severe storms firing off here in the UP of Michigan once again, and then into portions of Canada as well even, but these are all going to head southward eventually, once again, into the Midwest, into the area where we have our severe thunderstorm watch. Again, some of the bigger cities in this include areas like Chicago, Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, Lansing, Fort Wayne, Logansport. All right, now we did actually just get a brand new mesoscale discussion 19 seconds ago, literally. This is going to be the watch of the day if this gets issued. This is looking pretty concerning. There's a 95% chance of a severe thunderstorm or tornado watch being issued for portions of Kansas, Nebraska,
again,
Iowa,
some of the bigger
Missouri,
cities
and
in this
Illinois,
areas
like
between now and
Chicago,
4 p.m.
Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, Lansing, Fort Wayne. I forgot to mute myself again. Severe thunderstorms capable of very large hail up to large apple size and gusts from 60 to 80 miles per hour are likely this afternoon. Watch likely. So that's that. Sorry, I gotta give my voice a rest here. I've been recording a lot of videos. But if anybody has any questions in chat, feel free to leave them down below. If you have any new information in chat, make sure to leave those down below as well. Am I sounding good? Is it too loud? Is it too quiet? Large hail up to large apple size. Sounds good to me. Alright. So, anyway, once again, right now our main focus needs to be the Upper Peninsula of Michigan here. As these severe storms firing off, whenever we look at these storms, it's better to look at the radar site in Canada here. But, if we look at this one, it's better to look at the radar site in the oven mitt of Michigan. So, we do have an enhanced risk of severe weather today for parts of Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, those areas that we were talking about for that potential big-time severe thunderstorm or tornado watch. So this is driven by a 30% hatched risk for damaging winds and a 30% hatched risk for large hail. Now, the tornado risk, it's on the lower side of things, but it is there. Now, We had a 5% tornado risk yesterday, and we had a full-on tornado outbreak. We had that risk again today. So, areas of northeastern Missouri, southeastern Iowa, and northwestern Illinois, you need to be on high alert today, as all modes of severe weather, including tornadoes, are possible. For areas like Chillicothe, Trenton, and Kirksville, Missouri, we go up to Iowa into areas like Ottumwa and Centerville. We go back into Illinois. This includes areas here, or I guess Burlington's in Iowa too, but in Illinois, this includes areas like Quincy, Macomb, Canton, Galesburg. So, again, those are some of the cities that are going to be at risk today for a potential tornado, and even outside of that is your green 2% risk, which goes all the way from the Oven Mitt of Michigan here back into parts of northeast Kansas. So, we're going to have a great tornado potential today over a very large area here, actually. So, again, this is going to be a pretty widespread event, so if anybody has any questions about their location, feel free to leave those down below. But yeah, this is a live look at Kalamazoo right now. Look at this. We can see all this explosive convection at the back of the camera there. Let's look at Detroit. Same thing. So, a lot of thunderstorm activity already getting going once again, mainly in Michigan. But we do have some showers and thunderstorms working their way into Wisconsin. And again, these are all going to head southward and intensify into our big line of storms today. That is going to produce, once again, the threat for damaging winds and large hail and maybe a few tornadoes. This is going to be a pretty big concern, actually, for damaging winds. I'd say out of all three of the threats, damaging winds are going to be the main thing. If we look at the NAM, this is what it's painting. So, let's go ahead and skip up to right now. We'll look at the HRRR after this, but this is right now. All right, they were predicting some showers and thunderstorms in Minnesota and Wisconsin, and they got that right. They were predicting some thunderstorms in Michigan. They got that right as well. Now, actually, this would be right now. So, 3 to 4 p.m., they're expecting that a lot of these storms in Michigan actually intensify and turn into kind of a line of storms here across the southwest portion of the state. All right, around 4 p.m., we're talking about areas like Kalamazoo, Lansing, all the way potentially as far west as Lake Michigan here, getting some serious chances for some damaging wind activity. Now, as we go into 5 p.m., that gets even larger. We're talking about it stretching all the way from the southern portions of the Chicago suburbs back towards Detroit, having a very high potential, once again, for some extreme damaging winds and some large hail as well. Now, we'll see this other burst of convection out here as well around this time, or at 5 p.m. This is where our tornado threat's going to be the highest, in my opinion. Around 5 p.m., I think areas like, Iowa, Missouri, these areas are going to have a very real tornado threat because of some of these discrete supercells getting going. So I'd be watching out in this area around 5 p.m. for a potential tornado threat. Even outside of the marginal risk there, up towards Sioux City, I'd be looking out. But maybe even some strong to severe storms out here in Kansas as well. But anyway, the main show here, all right, Iowa, Missouri, Illinois. 6 p.m., we see that line of storms just burst out of there. It goes from nothing to everything in like 5 seconds here. Well, an hour, but this is going to be, again, a big-time damaging wind maker and also quite a bit of large hail as it approaches areas like Kansas City around 7 p.m., 8 p.m. We are talking about this impacting areas kind of to the southwest of Kansas City, areas like Hutchinson, Wichita. And you'll notice we also have this other cluster of storms up here in northeastern Missouri and southeastern Iowa, around Centerville, Kirksville, Burlington. This is actually going to be a big-time damaging wind and a large hail producer as well, right? Around 9 p.m., we got all these clusters of storms across the Midwest here, where, again, we're talking about the threat for some strong to severe storms going all the way from Indiana back into Texas. So, very large area, all right? Around 10 p.m., that convection really just gets going there in northern and kind of central Illinois. We're talking about areas here like Peoria, Bloomington, Hannibal, potentially having the threat for some large hail and damaging winds, maybe an isolated tornado threat as well. And then, as we go into 2 a.m., the event kind of winds down for everybody. So, let me catch my breath really quickly. That was a long period of me talking. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at the HRRR. Okay, I think I'm good to go. So, the HRRR, this is right now. Alright, by the way, I didn't even mention Florida, but look at this. I mean, guys, this is just ridiculously heavy rainfall that South Florida is getting. But anyway, back up here to the main show, the Midwest. This is what I was predicting for right now. The eastern portion of the UP getting some heavy thunderstorm activity. Now, this isn't really predicting because this run came out like an hour ago. So, I mean, they basically knew what was going to happen at this point. But anyways, actually, it's coming out right now, rather, because this is the 2 p.m. update. But this is a brand new run of the HRRR, all right? 4 p.m., all right, it's showing maybe some strong to severe storms impacting areas like Chicago, northeast Illinois, back into northwestern Indiana here from South Bend to Chicago. We are going to have a little kind of cluster of storms here that may produce some isolated damaging winds and large hail. But by 6 p.m., once again, around 6 p.m., both the models here are showing this is where our activity gets going. Now, the HRRR is painting this a little bit further southeast than the NAM was. The NAM was saying, hey, maybe back up here as far northwest as Sioux City we see some cells. But the HRRR is saying, hey, no, this goes down through southeast Iowa, northeastern Missouri. That's where it starts. And again, 5 to 6 p.m., no matter where it starts, that's where our highest tornado threat's going to be. Because look at these little discrete cells here. And you may notice this is actually where all of our chasers are bunched up because that's what they're thinking too, all right? They're thinking the convection pops up there because that's kind of what the HRRR is painting. But 7 p.m., we get more of those supercells. Now, again, I think the tornado threat could still last all the way into 7 p.m. here. The high tornado threat. I mean, the tornado threat's going to be there with us through the nighttime hours, but the highest tornado threat could be until 7 p.m. here for parts of northeastern Missouri, southeastern Iowa. And then the HRRR is showing just one little supercell there into portions of northwestern Illinois. But 9 p.m., this massive line of storms gets going. And I'm talking all the way from the Texas Panhandle to northwestern Indiana. That's how big of a line we're talking. Massive. And if this does unfold, this is going to create a widespread chance for severe weather here. We're going to be talking about 20 to 30 severe thunderstorm warnings at one time, most likely, if this actually plays out. Some of the specific areas around 9 p.m. that this could be impacting. So listen up. This is going to be a long list. Amarillo, Texas, Dodge City, Kansas, Hutchinson, Kansas, Topeka, Kansas, Kansas City, back up towards Quincy, Peoria, Bloomington, all the way out towards Logansport in Indiana there. Very long line of storms there. Now, by 11 p.m., the HRRR is still showing some clusters of supercells here, like the one around Kansas City, and then the other one here focused across portions of northeastern Illinois. And these are going to continue. Unfortunately, the rest of the HRRR run is not there yet, but you can get the picture. These head southeast and, kind of weaken out over the nighttime hours. But anyway, gotta catch my breath every time I say something. Sorry, guys, I've been recording for, a long time. Is a moderate risk in the question? No. I would highly doubt they would add us a moderate risk. If there were to be a moderate risk, it would be for damaging winds, around here probably, northeastern Missouri, southeast Iowa, northwest Illinois, but I doubt they're going to add a moderate risk. It's not that kind of event. Whew. My goodness. This is what happens whenever I film for too long. Anyway, again, this is the main area we're focused on today where our enhanced risk is for areas like Kansas City, Davenport, Bloomington, Springfield. Do you think the outflow from the storms today or actually affect the weather for future days, meaning tomorrow and so on? Potentially. I know it's kind of obnoxious whenever the weather guy says maybe. My parents make fun of me for doing that too, but it's a maybe, all right? We may have that effect on some of our storms in the upcoming days. It's just going to depend on where the storms develop and where they end up dying. By the way, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is at the very end of the UP of Michigan. This is right along the Canada-U.S. border here. So Bay Mills, Dafter, Sault Ste. Marie. Other people were talking about moderate. Were they really? That just seems kind of ridiculous. I guess we'll find out in about 45 minutes. I highly doubt there's going to be a moderate risk, though. I seriously doubt it. Hello from Central Michigan. I mean, Central Michigan's definitely going to be an area to watch here. Parts of Central Michigan right now do have a severe thunderstorm watch, but it'll just depend on where you're at. But yeah, later today we'll be watching Central Michigan. But yeah, Drew, I mean, it's really just going to depend because the models, once again, they're battling on where these storms are going to form, how they're going to die out, what's really going to happen with them. So that's a real good question that there's no definitive answer to. I think it's a possibility once again. We do have this little cell here starting to pop up in Chicago. You don't know if they're looking at the specifics. I don't know, man. I don't think a moderate risk is going to get issued. I'd give it maybe a 15% chance. But yeah, we do have this little cell here popping up near Chicago. And this is actually going to be heading towards areas like Joliet and Channahon. We'll have to watch this. It's growing pretty rapidly as it crosses Highway 52 there. But yeah. Again, this is our severe thunderstorm watch right now in effect for parts of southwestern Michigan, northeast Illinois, northern Indiana, and northwest Ohio. Just one county there in northwest Ohio, but still. I think tomorrow could go enhanced for Nebraska into Colorado. I'm assuming that's what you meant. I don't understand. You think it'll go enhanced, though, for Nebraska and Colorado? I mean, I don't know. It's a potential. If it does go enhanced, it'll be hail that drives it. It's not going to be a tornado driver enhanced. In fact, the tornado threat for tomorrow is actually relatively low because not a lot of cells are going to be out there discrete before a line of storms develops. It's kind of what a lot of the events have been recently. You know, can these cells become discrete and strong before they get caught up with in a line? And the answer to that tomorrow is likely going to be no. Maybe we get an isolated tornado. The Storm Prediction Center has a 2% risk out, but if we do get a tornado, it would be anywhere from like Sidney, Nebraska to Goodland, Kansas is what the SPC is saying. I would say that actually it would be a little bit further out to the west here. I'd paint something like, maybe not this far out west once you get into the Rockies, no, but anywhere from like east of Denver back into far southwest Nebraska would probably be my marginal tornado risk. I definitely don't think it'll go into the Rockies. I did not mean to paint it that far west, but so we are left with 2 severe thunderstorm warnings here. We have to look at the Canada radar to see these really well. And the Canada radars are weird. So we do actually have quite a few storms popping up here in southwestern Michigan. And they're not doing too much yet, but these are going to kind of roll into areas like Lansing, Grand Rapids, maybe as far as just Fowlerville over the next several hours. So we'll watch these. Kalamazoo maybe gets a little rain shower or something, but I think it's mainly going to be to the east of Kalamazoo where we see our storm development for this round here. Waiting to see our next radar update here for this little rain shower, or kind of thunder shower now in the Chicago area. We have a big-time special weather statement here in east central Colorado for a little storm here to the south of Interstate 70. Actually, it's for a landspout threat. I love Radar Omega too. Yeah, for anybody wondering what I'm using, probably my number one asked question that I get on streams is, what radar app are you using? I'm using Radar Omega, available on iOS and Android for $8.99. Cheaper than RadarScope, and in my opinion is the most capable radar app out there. This is the kind of stuff that your local news channel will use on TV, and you can have it on your phone for $9. How handy is that? You get all the alerts. There's a bunch of cameras scattered around. There's storm chasers. You can look at the outlooks. You can look at what the models are showing. I think you have to buy a subscription for that, though. But there's a lot of stuff you can do, even with the basic version of Radar Omega, that you can't do with any other radar app. Like, again, all of these little cameras here well, they're not free because you have to pay for the app, but you get them with the base level. You don't have to buy a subscription or anything for all these weather cameras. And again, you can look at the outlooks, you can look at the alerts, you can look at radar, obviously. You can look at all the radar features pretty much for free. You got reflectivity, velocity, correlation, coefficient, everything you need to spot tornadoes and thunderstorms and stuff. And snowstorms. You can also look at 3D, which is a pretty cool feature. You have to pay for this, though. You have to have a subscription. I think it's the max subscription or the second highest subscription you have to have for this. I don't even use this too much. Oh my goodness, I just realized why I should be using this. This is how you measure how high the debris gets in the atmosphere. How did I not know about this until now? I mean, I knew that you could do this, but I never use it, so I never thought about it, but... Hello, Storm Chaser 575. It's been a while since you've been here. Well, dang it, now I don't know how to get out of here. How do I get out of here? Help! No! Oh, what have I done? Oh, close. How do I exit this? Maybe click the close button. It's really laggy, though. But yeah, that's, something. You guys are sick? That sucks. Hope y'all get to feeling better. Now they've got another special weather statement for a hyper-localized area here. For the storm, this one is. No, you're good, you're good. I was just saying it's been a while since I've seen you. So our little rain shower here in the Chicago area is not really a little rain shower anymore. It's getting into a fully fledged thunderstorm here as it crosses over Highway 52, approaching. It's going to kind of parallel Interstate 80 here and head towards the Joliet area over the next several minutes. We only have one severe thunderstorm warning now, though. The one in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan here. So I notice whenever my alert sounds are broken, you guys can still hear them on stream, but I can't. So if there's like an alert sound that comes through, but I don't, mention it or anything, it's probably just because my alert sounds are actually broken. So, I mean, I don't know, it's weird. Hello, Mr. Storm. Again, if you're just not tuning in, we are watching a severe weather outbreak in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and another severe weather outbreak that's going to start to unfold here across the Midwest this evening. Again, we have a severe thunderstorm watch for parts of Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio. And we're going to get another watch soon between now and 4 p.m. for this area, for parts of Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, and Nebraska. If I were chasing, I would be near or southeast of Des Moines, at least when the storms are discrete. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what all our other storm chasers have agreed to do, because this is where, not only is this where the storms are going to be discrete, but this is also just where they're going to fire up, So, kind of the best place to be. I mean, if you want to get some damaging wind action, then, I mean, probably wait further out here, but you can still chase the line into where the damaging winds are going to start to occur. So again, kind of if you're, north of this line here, if you're like on the northwest side of this line here, this is going to be the area where we have the higher tornado threat. If you're southeast of this line, though, this is where our damaging wind threat's going to be higher. Be targeting areas south of Davenport. I don't know. I mean, the SPC has the enhanced risk for that area, but if you look at like the the HRRR, it's really not showing too much for the Davenport area until, 7 p.m. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably choose somewhere in between Des Moines and Kirksville. Like in this area here. It's really like this region where the storms are going to fire and become discrete and have their highest tornado potential. So. Alright, so look at this. This is something that we're going to see live happen on radar. What's happening here is we got our little thunderstorm here, but it's about to undergo a cell merger, which is going to really intensify it as it heads towards Joliet. So again, if I'm in Joliet, I'm getting ready for this thunderstorm here. I'd be getting inside, if you don't want to get out there in the rain, because I really think this cell's about to intensify quite a bit here. Again, it's discrete. It's got a cell merger about to come in. I don't think it's going to be a big-time tornado threat, but I think it is going to produce some damaging winds and large hail as it heads east towards the north side of Joliet. Once again. So, some of our southwestern Michigan storms here are looking pretty healthy. Again, some of these may be producing some gusty winds, some small hail, some lightning, but it's not going to be anything crazy. So, yeah, I think we have to watch this cell pretty closely now as it's about to undergo a cell merger as it heads towards Joliet. So, again, this could strengthen our cell here as it approaches Interstate 55. So, again, if you're just not tuning in, we've been live for about half an hour now covering severe weather across parts of the Midwest. Is Reed going to go live today? I have no idea. Probably. Well, it just depends. I don't know. I really don't. I was live for over 3.5 hours yesterday in total. So, it's about 3 hours and 45 minutes. So, if we're... I just said, like 4 times in a row, but if I was live for that long yesterday, it's going to be a long time that we're here today. And it's not going to be one 4-hour stream or anything, but spread out. I had 3 streams yesterday where we were live for over 3 hours and 45 minutes. Which I've had individual streams, get to like 2.5 hours, but I think total streaming in one day, that's kind of a while. So again, here's our little thunderstorm here. Trying to strengthen as it approaches downtown Joliet. It's pretty much going to go right into Joliet here. And it's not going to be anything super intense for a while, but again, it's becoming bigger. It is. And it might undergo another cell merger back here, closer to Marseilles. Marseilles? How do you pronounce that? So it's gonna try and do something. At the very least, it's gonna bring some rainfall. Some good summertime rainfall is always helpful. Especially because this area is in a little bit of a drought. It's nothing too crazy, but I believe they are on the drought monitors map from the Climate Prediction Center. No, but they are just outside of the abnormally dry zone, so some nice rain could always help. Marseilles? Okay. Well, it's not like I'm going to have to pronounce that name too much because these showers are already past there, but thank you. I'm glad I don't have to pronounce that much. So this is a live look at Kalamazoo with some of these rain showers coming in. If you'll notice, the dew point all the way up into Michigan is at 65 degrees. So, well, 64 degrees, but that's, I mean, those are some high dew points for Michigan. That's kind of something we would see a little further south. Even like the dew point right now in the to the north of Kansas City is in the 70s. Even Wisconsin's around 64. It's a lot. Really high. But, I mean, if we go down here to southeast Texas, it does not compare to our 97 degree heat index. There's about to be a big heat wave roll through this area, though. If we look at the climate prediction centers... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. What about Davenport? I can't check it, because there's no... Oh, I guess I could check it. I just have to turn on the... We'll turn on the detailed display. Davenport is 70 degree dew point. Jeez, for Iowa. But anyway, if we take a look at the Climate Prediction Center, their 6 to 10 day outlook map. Look at this. This is the highest level that it gets. This is the highest confidence they can possibly give. There's a 90 to 100% chance of above average temperatures in this area next week. 4 parts of the Ohio Valley and New England. And, you know, the entire country really is about to go through a pretty big heat wave here. Look at this. Pretty much everywhere except this little spot here up in Montana is above average, as the Climate Prediction Center is saying anyway. And it doesn't really change much as we go into the 8 to 14 day outlook. If we take a look at that, I mean, look at this. Still a 70 to 80% chance, and still there's only one little sliver of an area here in the northwest with below average temperatures up there in Washington, so it's gonna be hot. So again, waiting for this next radar scan to come in here. There we go. Got some shower and thunderstorm activity once again working its way into the Chicago suburbs here, if you're just not tuning in. They are starting to intensify a little bit. But still, just going to be some nice beneficial rainfall for these areas. And it's really just a little cluster of showers and thunderstorms. You know, in half an hour, it'll be over. So, again, here's all our showers and thunderstorms across the southwest corner of Michigan, continuing to produce a gusty wind and small hail threat here from Grand Rapids back down to Kalamazoo. But our only severe storm right now is up here in the Michigan UP. What's this? We got ourselves a little early cell here developing in southern Iowa. This was not supposed to happen till like 5, 6 p.m. What's going on there? And of course, it's in the worst radar hole in the entire country. Jeez, dude. They gotta get a better radar out here. Well, a closer radar out here. Like, everywhere in northeastern Missouri and southeastern Iowa, really the entirety of northern Missouri and southern Iowa, are terrible radar holes, man. There's nothing. But, I mean, if we look from the Davenport radar, that's a little cell trying to get its act together already near Corydon and Seymour. And it looks like Storm Chaser Brandon Kopic might be heading for that. Try the Des Moines radar. It's still a little far away. Look at this. The newest scan on the Davenport radar is showing the storm getting way stronger, so we'll see what it looks like on the newest scan of this Chicago radar. Again, as it undergoes all these cell mergers, it's going to strengthen. So, again, that's the area that we're watching right now. And we'll also continue to watch our storms here in southwest Michigan. Again, these may be producing a little bit of a gusty wind threat. Are there going to be a lot of cell mergers today with these cells initially? Yes. There's going to be cell mergers that intensify them pretty quickly as they head southeastward. See, look at that. Man. Okay, it's getting going here. So again, there's our cell there. Now that's going to be doing some pretty heavy rainfall over Platteville. Into the southeast of Platteville. Not seeing any sign of wind yet, but let's check out the vertically integrated liquid. Yep, even this was 4 minutes ago even, and it's showing a little signature here. So we may have ourselves a hailstorm trying to develop over Highway 52, heading for Joliet. So, all right. So this is official wording from the Storm Prediction Center. Severe thunderstorms are expected late this afternoon and early evening across parts of southern Iowa into northern Missouri and northern/central Illinois. Very large hail, destructive wind gusts, and a couple of tornadoes all appear possible. A broader corridor of severe hail/wind potential will extend for portions of the south-central High Plains to the Great Lakes. That's telling Iowa's going big? Yeah, I think it's a little premature here, but this is happening way earlier than we expected it to. And it's way out here by itself. That's the problem. Now, the atmosphere isn't quite primed yet, as it will be later. It's not as primed yet. But still, this is going to have the potential to turn into a strong storm as it approaches Unionville, Missouri. I think it's heading southeast anyway, isn't it? Yep. Actually, it's kind of heading due east here. So, like, Centerville, Iowa, Unionville, Missouri, that general vicinity. In between those areas mostly, though. Like, Cincinnati, X-Line, 30, Streepy, Centerville. Yeah, that's where that cell's heading for. Check up on our Chicago storm. Again, it's trying to turn into something big here. It's trying to turn into a little baby supercell. But it's going to have a little bit of a hard time. Because the atmospheric ingredients in place up here, they're still favorable for severe thunderstorms. Don't get me wrong, but they're not quite as favorable as they are to the southwest of there. Yeah, look at this. We got ourselves a hailstorm going now with this Iowa cell. Again, this popped up way, way earlier than we were expecting. We were not expecting to see any of this until 5 or 6 p.m. So I'm glad we caught this, because this is going to be a nasty one, especially if people aren't expecting it. So again, Chicago storm right there, trying to turn into a little bit of a hailstorm as it heads off to the east. Well, it's not heading northeast. I don't know why I drew it like that. It's heading east towards Joliet. It's going to ride Highway 52. And then the Iowa storm that we're watching now near Seymour is, again, heading east towards Cincinnati and X-Line as it turns into a little baby hailstorm there. See, there we go. Now our Joliet storm is getting even more intensification here because of all these little rain showers that keep popping up in this area. All these rain showers that keep popping up are going to continue to feed into this storm here and make it stronger and stronger as it approaches Joliet. What's the environment like out there with that explosive storm? I mean, if you mean the Iowa one, it's prime. I mean, this is the area that we were expecting to see these cells today. So it's obviously primed. It's just, we were not expecting to see anything like this early. And it's not super intense yet, but, I mean, it's definitely a little hailstorm there. And it's probably got some wind associated with it as well. Look at that. We may have some half-inch sized hail there, I'd estimate. And the velocities are showing, hey, maybe a little bit of a damaging wind potential with this. So this is definitely way earlier than we were expecting this to happen, but it's still going to be pretty nasty out there for people along Highway 5 in between Centerville and Unionville on the Iowa-Missouri state line. And, I mean, if this continues to head eastward, it's going to be, I mean, all out here by itself, pretty strong. It just popped up out of nowhere, man, and now it is a fully fledged hailstorm. Look at this. We look at the past 7 frames. Look at that. Not even, 20 minutes ago. 20 minutes ago, this wasn't even here. Not even rain. Not even a little sprinkle. And now it's a hailstorm. So, if it continues to grow this fast, it is going to be dangerous. It's going to be a nasty one. So, this is moving east. Okay, let's do some math here. Some quick math. So this is 15 miles in about 20 minutes. So we take time, so 45 miles an hour. There we go. I'm proud of myself. That really was not complicated, but I'm happy that I did it. So this is moving east at 45 miles per hour. So if this continues to do the same thing that it has been doing, and I don't see why not, this is going to be heading for these areas. In Numa, you got about 7 minutes. Cincinnati, 10 minutes. X-Line, 15 minutes. Moulton, 27 minutes. Glenwood, 35 minutes. West Grove, 36 minutes. Lancaster, 38 minutes. Bloomfield, 46 minutes. Bunker Hill, 47 minutes. Dowling, 50 minutes. Pulaski, 55 minutes. Hit in 56 minutes. Trying to see some of the bigger areas that this is going to hit. I don't see any big-time towns on here. Burlington, that's pretty big. Burlington's got about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yep, there's pink on radar. There's that little purple color that indicates some large hail associated with this storm. So again, here's a look at your velocities. Nothing crazy, but I guess there's a damaging wind threat in here with this. In that particular area. I need to get better at saying that word. Because whenever we have PDS tornado warnings, I'm like, particularly dangerous situation. No, but, I mean, again, that, Southern Iowa's gonna be a nasty one, I think. So again, if you're, like, in between Unionville and Centerville, I'd be getting indoors, because this is coming in hot. It's gonna be a hailstorm whenever it reaches you. Would this be a National Weather Service in Des Moines area? I think it would be. And then the Missouri side would be National Weather Service in Kansas City? No. Whatever northeastern Missouri has covering for it. I think it would be the that's not a National Weather Service office. Whatever. Doesn't matter. We have no severe thunderstorm warnings now. The one in Michigan expired. So I think what we're going to do here, since we've been live for about 45 minutes now and we don't have any active warnings, we're going to end off the live stream here, but do not let your guard down. We're going to be live multiple times later this evening, covering active severe weather, much more active than what we're seeing now. This, here in Iowa, this is only the beginning. This is the first sign of one of our little supercells that we're going to get. And look at this. Brandon Kopic and Vince Welty and even Corey Gherkin are racing down to this storm here because they're concerned about it. So, again, we're going to end off the live stream here. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you guys in